10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
I love to live in space in between. It's when you are leaving old habits and you are completely open to destiny. I came to Brazil to look for places of power and for the people who have certain energy. Parallel realities, incorporations, entities. Brazil is so full of this kind of stuff. It's very strange. This is why I'm here, waiting to start my mission. I'm experiencing so many different emotions. There's so much pain. How I can help raising consciousness through art. Emotions arise in me when I feel my heart is opening, and it's so painful.
Boom. I hit a wall.
Look at you, look around us. People unhappy. We are totally disconnected with the brain and the body. With so many people live in their heads and they don't live with emotions. So something must be deeply wrong.
The performance artist Marina Abramovic broke visitor records in the Museum of Modern Art in New York. People waited in line. They even slept outside to get a chance to sit in front of her and look her in the eye.
My function was to be there present 100% for them. How to achieve that is very important, the pattern of breathing. You know, every time you breathe faster, your concentration is less. But if you breathe rhythmically and slowly, and then you can achieve that kind of state of mind of the moment, and then that can connect you with the person in the front of you. So that you really can make the non-verbal communication possible. I've experienced with the people sitting in the front of me with very negative energy, with very good energy. I experienced so many people who have in tremendous pain and they project on me and I can feel their pain. And I was just the mirror. You know, the important thing in this piece was the human being will never go and sit on the chair alone in this house and do nothing. But because it was a museum, I created some kind of platform, like a stage, and the people have to wait, and the waiting was also part of the process. And then the moment you finally come and sit in the front of me, you're watched by the other people, you're filmed, and you're watched by me. So you're nowhere to escape, nowhere, except into yourself. And when that happens, that connection, really click. And then you really start being with your own self, which we actually avoid to do all your life. And I think that one of the success of this piece was because it was not verbal. It was not about explaining emotions, it's about feeling them directly. After I sit for such a long time, 736 hours in MoMA, finally the American scientists got very interested in me. And they proposed me if I would do experiment 1 year here in America. Later on, the Russians got interested, so finally we end with this big symposium on the database and research on my brain. There are different subjects sitting in the front of me. I would just look at them, and they can really measure the wavelengths of each brain and see what kind of information it's sending. They told me that my brain activity is much stronger than anybody else. My wavelengths are longer and brighter, and the kind of intensity is very strong, so that actually participants can, really react on that, and this brain reacting it, and it's all on subconscious level.
It is changing radically the way in which we can start to undertake research around the brain and how our brain structures interact with each other, how different neurons synchronize and desynchronize in response to different types of behaviors and activities and learning. When two people have the same set of oscillations, we call that neural synchrony. We can actually see it now in real time, when it happens, as it happens. Couples who have lived together for many decades, who are still very, very much in tune with each other, when you take them in two separate rooms and you ask them to recall very similar types of events, their brain activates similar networks. It's basically a moment or a series of moments where two brains are acting in concert, when they're thinking and recalling the same types of activities or the same experiences, which would suggest that they are highly in tune with each other. In layman's terms, it's like being on the same wavelength. Very, very interesting studies, which, might seem to suggest why they're still together at this time.
It's really interesting to see how the artists work as scientists and see the relationship. The scientists will sit in laboratory for years and years and, try to discover certain microbe or whatever atom, and there will nothing happen. And then they will, just go and make the walk on the ocean, and idea will just click, and they will find the discovery, which become revolutionary. How that happen? It's the same way the artists do. You have to first put everything of yourself into the work. You have to give 100% of your own self to the entire, the last atom of your energy. And then when you know that you've done everything, you actually have to let it go, because you can't do more than you've done. And then the things happen by itself, and that's what comes intuition in it. It happens same with every big discovery, from science, from technology, from art, from architecture, poetry. The writers are writing great books. It comes from that moment. There's a moment when you're not expecting, not when you are actually doing it. I think that one of the most frightening moments in human history was when we think in those days, in the past, that the Earth was not a circle, but was a plate. And then can you imagine Colombo in those days? He was going to find different ways to go to India. He was going to the complete unknown, because he didn't know where was the second road to India, and he had the possibility to fall off the earth into complete hell. Can you imagine falling off the earth? How frightening is that? And then he took that journey. He took this courage to go into unknown and find America. So to me, going to unknown is the absolutely rule number one. We never can change our life or ourselves if you do things we like. We are always in the same pattern, the same shit. We are, falling in love with the same wrong guy. We are repeating our lives all over again, because we always like doing what we like, and it's so easy. But if you take the journey and you do things you don't like, you're afraid of, and complete unknown territory, then it's big possibility that you will go into different different pattern, and something else will happen, an experience will change you.
Antase ovan i lunken dragde djupt frostet dragde djupt mörskret svår i sig bort och lekne enke horise bort antade ovan i